for Raptor's first camping trip, finally got it out, got the swag out. Tell you what, me and Trev are very impressed with this Hexa tarp. It is friggin' cool. It's been pouring rain here, but I love it when it rains and we're out camping. Swags are set up, fire's going, river's running down there in the background. Doesn't get much better. But the power install, the new MITS alloy system is so good. I learned how to program everything with the configurator app there on my phone, and went through and then selected icons that I needed for each thing that I was going to power. So that was super cool being able to do that. And just, yeah, actually select what it is. So like 12 volt would be a 12 volt symbol, then you've got USB symbol, then I had the Starlink symbol, and then a fridge. And that's all I'm running right now off the battery, the custom lithium battery in the back. It's pretty basic sort of setup. I probably will hook up some camp lights. These ones just here, we'll hook them up eventually to that same system to be able to just turn them on and off. But just going back to basics, just the fridge running and some camp lights, that's about it. I do have Starlink in case I do go pretty remote and do need internet, so Starlink's on there as well, but yeah, it's not on for this trip. We're fully off grid and absolutely loving it. Got the whole campsite to ourselves, check this out. No one, the rain has scared them all away. Fire's going. It's been a while since I've been in the swag. It's so good to be back in the swag again. Trev's got his crash pad and Raptor set up over here, but yeah, just a little boys trip, boys weekend in the Raptors. Yeah, good. No one else here. Whole campsite's empty. Gen 1, Gen 2 Raptors. Pretty cool. How good's the Hexa tarp, Trev? It's good, eh?
Very good. Just get the ends, add them on, and yeah, place to be bomb-proof.
I was just going to bring a quick shade for this, but that would have been...
that would have been a catastrophe. We'd all be soaked.
We'd be very wet. But this is actually, like if you got both Raptors here, like if Trev didn't have his awning, you could set both Raptors up kind of tailgate in like this, and then have both swags on the other side. It's not a bad way to camp out of a Raptor. If you don't want to run an awning, I don't want to run an awning on mine, so this is the setup that I'm doing at the moment. But this Hexa tarp is bad to the bone. It's made by Drifter Stockton one. I think this is the big one, so yeah, check them out. Pretty good. Okay, so me and Trev had an absolutely awesome weekend up there in the Barringtons. I kind of just had to get everything kind of put in the Raptor so that way we could go away for the weekend. It was kind of a last minute decision to go away, but we were both not doing anything for the weekend. Yeah, it was just myself at home, so I thought, bugger it. Let's go up the Barringtons, and it's going to rain all weekend. We knew that, so we decided to take the Hexa tarp and set up our little camp, and it was absolutely awesome. We had the best time, just disconnected, just got away from social media and filming for the majority of it, and just hanging out, and it was really cool just to disconnect for a few days, and yeah, just chilling in the swag, listening to the rain just pouring down. It was so nice. So definitely, if it's going to rain, don't put off going camping. 100% just go camping. go and sit in the rain and just enjoy it, and just it was really cool. So I threw a bunch of gear on the Raptor that I had ready for videos of doing basically the tub install and stuff, but I kind of had to get it done so we could go away. So I'm going to run you through some of the other accessories that I've fitted. But first of all, you guys want to know about this panel, so we're going to start talking about this panel here, this MITS alloy compact panel. As you can see, she's pretty dusty, which is getting onto another part of today's video, which is installing the EGR dust buster kit, I think this thing's called, or the dust kit for the tailgate, because that's literally the only place that I'm now getting dust coming in is through the sides here. So we're going to be installing that today. But let's talk about this panel, my experience over the weekend using it, what I think of it, and would I recommend to get this if you're going to do sort of this same setup that I've got with the custom lithium battery, and just having everything all in one here. And the expandability of this thing is absolutely awesome. So let's dive into this and I'll tell you all about it. So the panel itself actually comes in this MITS alloy box. So inside you'll have the panel, which obviously I've got it mounted now, but it comes with all the red arc stuff. And then you do have your cables that come in the unit. So this is for expanding it beyond the basic way that I have it set up. So for water tanks and all that sort of stuff that you can get into with the Red Vision, you can set all that sort of stuff up through the outlet 1, which I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Its expandability is huge. So it comes with those wires if you wanted to go down that road of hooking up water tanks, and this can be available for any vehicle that you want to fit it in. So we'll jump over to the unit and I'll give you a look at that. Okay, so you have all been hounding me for this video on this MITS alloy compact panel. So we're going to go over it today. So it does come in the box I just showed you. So inside this case here, you do have the smart battery monitor. You also have the TVMS Rogue, which is just here, which is built into the unit as well. And everything comes in this little case. So everything's already pre-wired for you, everything's ready to go. Your BC-DC, so it comes with a 40 amp charger built in, so you get good charge, and also your Red Vision screen and everything just here. And it's so sick because it's just plug and play. It's not technical at all. The only technical part of this is actually configuring it for what you want, different outlets and different buttons to do exactly. So you've got obviously your outlet 1, 2, 3, and which are all programmed in the configurator app on your phone. Once you work that out, it's pretty easy to do it, but for the most part, if you were to get this compact panel installed by a third-party four-wheel drive installer or whatever, they'll do all that for you. I programmed it all myself, and it only took me like 10-15 minutes to figure out how to do it, and it was super easy, super quick. So it comes in this aluminium case here that MITS alloy make it in. Everything, like I said, is pre-wired inside of it. You have mountability here, so it's got like this composite plastic panel that it comes on just here at the back. And then I've drilled my own holes so that way it fits onto the Osmotion Molly panel just there. And everything's built into this unit, and the only plugs that you have are just down here on the bottom. So that's it. Everything utilizes Anderson plugs on the bottom. You don't have to have any, there's no secret wires here at the back or anything else going on. Everything utilizes the Anderson plugs down here. On this side, you also do have some 12-volt sockets. So you've got a normal cigarette socket just there, and a USB for charging your phones and things like that. And this is also, you can switch this from left to right, depending on what side you want it configured on. It's important that when you make an order for one of these, you tell them which side you want it on. It's not recommended, and you probably will void your warranty if you pull this unit apart yourself to configure things differently. So make sure that you spec it how you want it, and that way you'll maintain your warranty. So how I've got mine set up is I've got my 12-volt just there, which is going to turn on the cigarette lighter, my USBs, and then I've got my Starlink system, which is up here on the back of the Raptor. So I've got Starlink just there, and then I also have my fridge socket. So obviously I don't have my fridge in here right now because I'm showing you guys the panel. Once the fridge is here, it's about this far away from the unit. So that's how I've got mine set up. I am going to add some more camp lights and things like that here as well down the road, and probably some other lights here in the tub. The Raptor already comes with some lights in the tub built in, but I'd like a bit more, maybe some strip lights and things like that, which I can set up on this as well. This thing is so cool because it's so easy to install. If you've watched the previous videos on the Raptor that I've just done of building the whole tub fit out, if you haven't, go back and watch them, because we do the wiring and everything. So 12 volt in is coming directly from my battery. 12 volt out is going to the custom lithium battery behind the seat that we have. Solar in, got the red solar plug just there. It runs down to the back of the Raptor. And then what I ended up doing on the back of the Raptor just for now, I've got a solar input just there on the back of the Raptor. So if I want to throw a panel out here beside us if the sun comes out, not that I'm going to need it for 2 days with 200 amps of lithium, I can do that as well, and it'll go straight into the system. So outlet number 3 just here is for my fridge. When I've got it in here, I've just got it on an Anderson plug with a fuse, similar to what I've got here for my Starlink system. So I plug in my fridge just here, just via the Anderson plug. Outlet 2 is for my Starlink. Outlet 1 I don't have anything in, but I will be putting this other plug. This is for outlet 1 just here. So that goes directly into there, and then I can wire up other devices off that unit, like my camp lights and things like that. So it's super cool, super basic, just because it's so easy to install this thing into the vehicle yourself. And yeah, you've got all the features of the Red Vision system, and I was super happy with it going away camping the past 2 times I've gone. And yeah, it's just, it's such a cool thing to be able to just install this yourself, and it's just plug and play with Anderson plugs. So yeah, Metalloy has come up with a super cool idea here. If you do want to grab one of these units, jump into the description. I'll have links there where you can get one for yourself. But yeah, super awesome little panel. It is made out of aluminium, and then you can just drill your own holes down the side here to mount the thing however you like. And then you can also configure those 12 volt sockets, like I said, to whatever side you want to. But how sick is that? Just bang, mounted. You can mount it anywhere you want in your vehicle, and you just plug and play, and your 12 volt install is done. Everything is wired and fused and everything in this unit for yourself. So pretty bloody cool. So a quick look just there of the Anderson plugs going into the base of it. So it's pretty sweet. I'll pull the solar one out, so just comes straight out of the bottom there. Plug it back in. Bang, done. You can see the bolts here in the floor. This is where my fridge goes, the fridge slide. So it's nut zerted through the bottom of the bed rug here into the actual tub itself. And the bed rug does give it a good cushion in between for vibration and things like that. So that's how I mount the fridge in here. But if you wanted to have a slave off this as well, off this thing, you can put a slave off this and run a cable back into the vehicle if that's something that you wanted to do. I don't want to do any of that. I'm just going back basic. I want to power my phone, and I just want to power the fridge. And if I do go remote, I do have the option to use the Starlink, because I am setting this Raptor up. I do want to do a Simpson trip, and I'll be able to just simply bang, turn it on. I now have internet anywhere I go. Getting back to basics, I don't need an inverter for anything. Everything else I can charge, and I do have a bunch of those portable power stations that I can use if I need to. I don't need an inverter to power anything in the Raptor. It's just about going back to basics, and the MITS compact panel is absolutely perfect for doing that. But if I change my mind in the future and I want to go technical with it, I can absolutely do that as well. So it's a pretty cool little system, and probably the best plug and play thing on the market right now that's utilizing good quality components like the Red Arc gear. So I'm super impressed with it. The dust issues that I still have in the tub, I want to stop that. So I've been waiting on this to show up from EGR. I bought this myself, so this part of the build isn't sponsored. The compact panel, MITS did supply that for me to do a video on it and help them get the word out there that this is a new unit that they're making. But the EGR dust kit here, I think it's called the Dust Buster kit, I can't remember. Pulled back the tailgate section of the bed rug, and we're going to get this fitted up into the tailgate there. You can see it basically limits as much dust as we can that normally swirls around the back of the vehicle and starts coming in back through the side here. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to get this installed. So what my plan is with this is I do want to maintain between the tailgate and this gap. So, but because I don't really know where things are going to sit. Again, if you've watched the rest of the videos with this, there's different components that are going to take time to figure out how to actually get them installed using other components. I want to keep the bed rug, but I do want to fit the Dust Buster kit in here. So it's a matter of working out what needs to come out, if I need to cut any sections of this to get this fitted up. But we're going to go through the instructions now on the Dust Buster kit and get this thing fitted up. Like I said, this has been on back order for about 2 months. I was trying to get it done earlier before I did all the rest of this, but just didn't happen. So comes with a full instruction manual here, but we're going to crack on and get this thing installed. And you can spec this depending on what you have, whether it's a roller shutter or a hard lid. I think there's different kits that come with different brackets for each setup that you may have. So I'm going to get in and I'm going to wipe all this down and yeah, get this thing installed. Along this bottom rail here, you've got all these little holes right along this bottom section. So we're going to go along and we're going to push a bunch of these little plastic tabs in, and then we're going to put screws in there. I think it's to hold this rail here against that edge. So got all these little plastic sections here. There's a bunch of bolts. So there's a few components to this thing. You got to trim the tub liner if you do have one. Obviously I don't have one, I've got the bed rug, but we'll have to see where that conflicts. I think it should be right because it's past that edge. So we'll go ahead now and we'll put all of our black plugs along this bottom edge here. Okay, so it's every second hole. I got carried away. Okay, so grab your rail and set it up so that way you can see where each hole sits along the thing, and then you could determine which one, because I thought it was going to go in every single one, but it actually doesn't. It only goes in like the second one, then the second one from that. So just get your rail and sit it there on the edge, and then you can work out which ones you need to have a plug in to be able to pick this rail up. I'm going to go ahead and take the ones out that I don't need to be in there. Okay, so we've got our rail in there. I highly suggest, because you can't get a screwdriver in it, it's pretty hard, go and pick yourself up one of these from like Super Cheap or something, so you can go like 90 degrees and actually put pressure on it with your thumb or something, and that way you can put one of these in there and tighten those up. They are a screw head like that, so yeah, grab one of these little tools from Super Cheap, that way you can get in there and tighten those up. So the next part here is telling us that we've got to put this pinch rubber on there. So you want that facing that way with the squishy side up. So we're going to go along and push this pinch rubber on there. Get this pushed on all the way along. Okay, so I've got that pushed all the way along. It is pretty firm to get it on there with your hands, so just take your time with it and make sure it's on there pretty snug. And then I just had to trim that last little bit there at the end. Just trim that with these Sterling snips that I've got. So next part is to put these rubber pads. It says just here to put these rubber pads in, just here in these gap sections. So we're going to go ahead now and put those rubber pads in there, and then move on to these other side brackets just here. So the big one goes on the bottom, and then the little one here goes on the on the top. That's just to close that gap in, but then there's a bracket that's going to go in front of it. So then that goes there, like so. Push it down so it adheres. And you can see, like, as this flap goes across now, I may have to notch some of this out here, but this will retain up, but the tailgate here will seal against here, and then this will also stop extra dust coming in from the back of the tailgate, so which would be pretty good. Okay, so we've got them installed on both sides. Now we're going to go on to, that's done. Now we're going to assemble these pieces just here. So looking at that, this side like this, goes in there like that somehow, just like this. So we'll get this bolted in. Okay, so with these brackets, they're going to go on the back side of this one here, simulated there in the picture. So we're going to have to remove, I've just removed these 2 bolts just here, which is good anyway, because I actually did get some extra tie down points from Ford to put in this back corner here in case I need to tie anything down. So just be careful with these. There is a lot of Loctite on them, so just rattle them out slowly. Don't go and just burn them all the way out, otherwise you could damage the threads. So just push them out. I'm going to go ahead now and bolt this bracket up together as per that picture there, and then we're going to slide this in with it angling inwards and the bottom section straight down to where we've got our little rubber mounted there. And then this bracket here will essentially go in behind there, and then I'll put the bed rug, and then I'll put my new tie downs here on the outside. Okay, so we've got a new bracket, so we're going to slide that in, and I've got some extra tie downs here that I bought from Ford. So I'm not gonna tighten these all the way up. I'm just going to get the bolts started, and then that way we can adjust it as we go, in case we have to move this bracket up or down, depending on where things end up locating. Okay, now you can see the bracket's got plenty of movement there, so we're just going to nip it up, keep it loose butt. So it's still got a bit of movement there, so. And we've got a tie down point there now. If we need to tie anything down in the back of the ute, I can do that, because they don't have tie down points in that back section from factory. So fix my light up here. Not the best light, but it's helping. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And on the other side, you need to be aware that this little notch here is for this side as per the instructions. It says there visually to look, that notch sits like that for some reason. I'm not too sure yet, but we'll figure that out here in a minute. Okay, so I've got both brackets in there now. They're just loose. Got my new tie downs in there that I got. Got our little rubber stoppers just down in here. And I've gone ahead and put the rubber on. There is a way of configuring. You see how that's kind of bent. So there is a way of configuring these. So you want the bent end kicking out. It's all in the instructions, but. And then this is going to slide in there like that to block that section off. I've just got to trim some of that off flush. I've already done the other one just here as well. Just got to trim them off flush, and we'll get these bolted up. And then these little retainers here actually retain and hold the rubber stripping on as well. So I'm going to go ahead now, go through the instructions, and yeah, get these other brackets and stuff fitted up. Okay, I've got the 2 bolts in the bracket just here, but I still do have it loose, so it tucks up in there like that, and then the tailgate's going to push against this section down through here. So this, when I have the bed rug, I'll probably have to notch the bed rug around the corner here, and then I'll put it back on, and then I think this bottom rubber edge here will seal against there across this smooth section, so that won't affect my double-sided tape or the Velcro tape there I've got for the bed rug. This section here will seal up against here. Obviously I do have a tub liner, spray-in tub liner on this one, but it shouldn't affect the bed rug. It should just push up against the bed rug to seal it off. So I'm just going to leave everything loose, and then I'm going to get all the rest of this bracketry. These brackets here go up behind the back of here. I just got to pull these drains off. The drains are supposed to come out through here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to seal them up because the boys have already drilled a hole there. Actually, no, I might actually pull them out and run them out through here so they run down the back there instead of going into the tub. And then that way the bed rug here will sit flush, so it probably will look a bit better. So I might go ahead and do that, move my drains to the outside here to these holes, and get my other bracketry in here, fitted on the inside into these holes that go around behind the back of there, like so, to support the top section of these. Rerouted these drains too, and they were upside down, so I've put them around the correct way. So now they just drop straight out, runs down the back there onto the ground, which is sweet. So maybe that's why I was getting a little bit of a leakage there, so I put zip ties up there around them, keep them nice and secure. But yeah, they're not obstructed now either. They were kind of kinked around the other way when I had them upside down the other way. So, and the flange here is the right size for this bracket, so make sure that's the way you've got them up there. Put a zip tie around the top, but now any water that comes on the track will run into here, run down there, run straight at the back. So yeah, so we've got our bottom strip and everything on, got our rubbers and everything in, everything's now tight. I've tightened back up the tie down points and that, and hopefully it's going to stop the dust and stuff coming in now. I've just got to modify the back of the bed rug here to fit around that edge, and then as it shuts, the sealing edges still should all be pretty sweet. This edge here will seal against the bed rug on the tailgate, obviously. But so what I did on the bed rug is, you'll see when I fold this back, is I took these bolts out along the tailgate. There's 4 of them along the tailgate, and then Velcro the bed rug down and then screw through it to hold it in place. So looking at this when it shuts, as you can see, it's bunched up there in the corner, but as it shuts, there's a little bit of pressure. That's how far it is out right now. There's a little bit of pressure there, a little bit of resistance. So you can see there it's doubling up when I go to shut this. So I'm just gonna have to notch that, probably notch this section out here. And then what I'll do is I'll get a little heat gun and I'll just run it around the edge to stop this stuff fraying. But then that should be good enough to stop that from coming open then. So yeah. But look how good it fits. Look how good it fits down in there. The bed rug is absolutely perfect down both sides of the dustbuster kit. So it fits as if it was made to. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that fitment on both sides there. Righto, I'll modify this and we'll get it all shut up, and then I'm gonna move on to showing you about this off-road animal half tub rack. So I've just basically notched that in, and as the tailgate, I've just also burnt the ends of these so that way it doesn't keep fraying. So it's all, because this stuff is actually plastic, it won't it's not going to go moldy or mildew or anything like that, but I just want to stop that fraying. So the plastic fibers are actually melded together now. So, but if I just tuck that around like that, it's actually going inwards as I close it anyway. So I've done that on both sides. So now we'll give it take a look around in there. So the dustbuster kit is pushed up against the bed rug. So I'm pretty bloody happy with that on both sides. That is sweet. You can see just the attention to detail with the EGR roller shutter, like these little plastic notches and this little weathering strip hitting against there. They're doing everything they can to try and manage the water. So it doesn't look like there's going to be any dust soon. So I'll keep you updated on how this kit goes, and I'll show you I'm going to clean it all inside I'm going to vacuum it all out. And then hopefully if it dries out, we'll do some driveways in and out of the driveway here at my house, and we'll see how the dust goes, and I'll let you know in another video about the progress of the dust buster kit and if anything's kind of getting through or getting past. But it's going to be pretty hard to get past the seals on the bottom of the tailgate and past the bed rug and past the other seal. The dust is going to be doing pretty well to get past that stuff. But so in the video that we did on the EGR roller shutter, I spoke about putting the J brace in, and that I wasn't too sure about what I wanted to put actually on the back. So the J brace obviously increases your load capacity in the front corners of the tub, so that way you can put a bit more weight up there. So what I've actually thought about doing is that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go with it, but I've actually gone and got the off-road animal rack. So I hit up these guys to see if they were willing to be part of the install on the Raptor, and they said yes, absolutely. So they've sent me this half rack that I found on their website, which uses 3 extrusion rails and then these outside sections here that bolt directly onto these feet that go onto the track system that's on the EGR roller shutter. So I do have the Starlink mounted up here at the moment on this, but then on the other side I've been putting my swag for the past few trips that I've done in the Raptor. I do have some laser lamp lights here on the side, which I'm going to get these hooked up into that MITS alloy system. But for the most part, this rack has given me a lot of versatility. If I did a big trip, if I went out to the Simpson Desert or something like that, I'd probably do a full rack. I'd probably buy their full rack that went right to the back. That way I could carry a bit of extra gear. But for the most part, for the simple weekend trips that we're doing, if I can't fit the gear in my tub and my swag on the back, then I'm obviously taking way too much stuff. So trying to minimize that by using less gear. I'm trying to keep the weight light on the Raptor, but also have it fitted out exactly how I wanted it. And we've got the bed rug in, the molly panels, the 12 volt system's now done. We've got the dust buster kit just installed then. So I'm pretty stoked on how all this is now coming together. So I am getting a UHF, and we're using the TLR bracket here. So TLR have given us a bunch of gear for the Raptor, just like the under bonnet bracket for the fuses. They also do this bracket here, which can go on your track system of your roller shutter. I've put it on top of the off-road animal rack just here on the back. So I'll have my aerial fold down in that direction. Swag goes on top, strap goes right around. I probably am going to put some little D-rings here on the outside, so that way I can just hook straight to the D-rings instead of going all the way under. But yeah, off-road animal rack is pretty sweet, and it's allowed me to have that extra tub room here at the back where I can, if I need to fit a tall item in there, I can still do that and utilize the tub. But for the most part, if you put a full rack on there, you kind of lose that height, and you're limited by height then. So with the half rack, it allows me to mount the Starlink, throw my swag up here. The rest of the gear goes in the back. I'm not always going to run my fridge in here, so the bolts are already in the floor here for when I want to throw the fridge slide in. I won't run that in there all the time. It's just kind of unnecessary weight that I'm carrying around. But yeah, I'm super happy how all this has turned out, and big shout out to all these companies that have actually helped me on this build. Obviously, Osmotion with the molly panels. I paid for the bed rug myself. Off-Road Animal for the rack. TLR for the bracketry. MITS Alloy for this awesome panel here. I paid for the dust buster kit. The EGR roller shutter. Big shout out to EGR. But I'm so happy with how this has now turned out. I'm going to give all this a nice clean inside now, and hopefully we'll see how the dust goes. You're never going to stop everything. It's going to find a hole somewhere. Dust and water are very smart, and they will find any gap they can. So we will be doing a full interior video on the Raptor as well. I do have a couple of things lined up from a few different companies for the interior, And we've also got some more brackets for the TLR, UHF bracket, and some different bits and pieces that we're going to use in the interior. So TLR have all these little brackets and stuff on their website, so go check them out. I'll have links to all these companies in the description if you're looking to get any of this gear for your Raptor. So pretty cool stuff. But the interior video will be coming. I'd say probably the next video that we'll be doing on the Raptor is probably going to be the compressor. I do have to pull this molly panel out on this side, and then just fold the bed rug down to actually get back into there to get the compressor in. Reason why I didn't already do it is because I was waiting on a compressor to show up, and it was just taking forever. So it's finally here, and we'll get that fitted up in one of the next videos coming. So if you have questions about any of this gear that I've fitted to the Raptor, drop it down below. I do respond to almost everybody that comments. Sometimes I can't get to everyone, but for the most part, I can guarantee 99% of people that comment on my channel I actually respond to, and it's myself responding. So yeah, if you want to know something, drop it in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. So that's all from me. Check out my website too. That's a massive support for the channel if you guys want to keep me making videos for you with all these installs. These take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of editing. So anything, if you want to grab a t-shirt or a hat or a hoodie from the store, jump over and do that. Everything's in the description if you want to go and grab a hoodie. It's definitely coming into winter now, so we're smack bang in the middle of it. And yeah, my hoodies are pretty sweet. Everyone that buys one highly rates it. So jump over there, support the channel, grab a sticker, just anything small obviously helps the channel out heaps for me to do all this editing, and I really appreciate it. So anyway guys, I'll catch you in the next one.